Let's turn our focus now to Dr. Brad Schwall, the president and CEO of the Center for Integrative Counseling and Psychology. He joins us regularly to help process some of these tougher situations. Dr. Schwall, hate that we have to meet this way again, but thanks for being with us today.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about this because, these are high school students here, but, younger kids see these things play out on TV as well. Best ways for parents to talk to their kids about these kinds of situations, especially if they're, afraid to go back to their own school after they hear something like this.
Right. We are realizing that there are many victims from what happened. The bystanders, those other students at the school, staff, teachers, recognizing that there is a secondary traumatic impact, an experience of trauma, even if they weren't right there. And I do believe, and we at the center and our therapists working with kids and teens, we do know that there is an underlying ongoing fear and anxiety. So we are watching our kids. We're helping them express their thoughts, their worries. We're watching for changes in behavior, in their actions, and always making sure that we are in tune with their feelings. Because there are ways to help kids with anxiety and ways not to help kids with anxiety.
Mm-hmm. I can't help but think too, we do focus in on the children, rightly so, but we saw what happened in Uvalde last May, and we heard from so many parents in that circumstance there, and then it stuck with me yesterday. One of the parents who raced over to the school after all of this happened, and she said she couldn't stop crying at work, and she told her boss she just had to get out of there and had to go pick up her kid. Parents can really be impacted by these shootings as well, and sort of need to get that out.
For sure, and we do encourage that. So talk about what those worries actually are. Talk about what those feelings are, and that's important for trauma. With trauma, it is important to think and be aware of the emotional response, but also the behavioral response. It can't be denied. Life is unpredictable. And when we're dealing with anxiety and helping people with anxiousness, we never want to say, don't be worried, don't be anxious. We never want to say nothing bad will ever happen. So we as parents, the parent you're talking about, school staff, students, we have to recognize the world is unpredictable. Yet we need to realize that day to day, there are security measures in place. Day to day, there is that safety. So it's this balance of validating the emotion that it's okay to worry. At the same time, we need to go about life with confidence, with a sense of security.
Dr. Schwall, before I let you go, I want to ask you about teachers too, because they often get sort of forgotten in this equation when we talk about processing this stuff. They're in the classrooms every day. When things like this happen, this is in their workplace. So, they obviously have those concerns, but then they're sort of the rock in the classroom for the kids who have gone through these sorts of trauma, and they're looking out for how the kids are doing and responding to their needs as well. Seems like teachers are kind of stuck in the middle there and have a really tough position. Do you know of support groups or something that teachers can do?
Teachers do need our support, and there's many things we can't control, but we can control how we do support our teachers. I think it's always important to have parent involvement and for parents to ask, what are we doing to support our teachers? To encourage administrators in supporting teachers. So we can't control those fears and the unpredictable in life, but we can control how we create safe, healthy communities, environments. And I do think parent involvement is key to that, as well as supporting administrators who do work hard every day. But yes, I do think we must think about the impact on the children, but also the adults, and find ways that we can create that sense of security and that sense of ongoing support.
All right, some good timely thoughts today. Dr. Brad Schwall, President and CEO of the Center for Integrative Counseling and Psychology. We always appreciate you taking the time and laying it out there for us.
Thank you for having me.